In today's video, we'll be covering the history of the interurban lines that once crossed the Bay Bridge, those being the Sacramento Northern, Key System, and the Interurban Electric Railway. An interurban is an all-electric railway that runs between two or more cities and runs on a combination of city streets and on its own right-of-way. In 1906, Northern Electric began operation from Chico to Oroville and Marysville. The following year, they expanded to Hamilton and Sacramento. In 1910, the Oakland and Antioch began operations from Bay Point to Concord. In 1911, the renamed Oakland, Antioch and Eastern extended to Lafayette and built a new branch to Hillgrade. In 1912, Northern Electric opened a branch to Woodland. In 1913, Northern Electric opened the Colusa branch. In 1913, the Oakland, Antioch and Eastern extended through the Oakland Hills and around Lake Temescal to Oakland and across the Delta to Sacramento. They also extended to Pittsburgh that same year. In 1914, they built branch lines to Danville and Dixon. Also in 1914, branches were built to Vacaville, Wallota, and Fairfield. In 1916, the Danville branch was extended to Diablo. In 1917, the branch line to Dixon was abandoned. The Wallwood branch was abandoned next in 1920. Also in 1920, the Oakland, Antioch and Eastern was renamed to the San Francisco-Sacramento Railway. In 1924, the Danville branch was closed. In 1924, the Western Pacific, seeking to challenge the Southern Pacific's monopoly over the Bay Area, acquired both Northern Electric and the San Francisco-Sacramento and combined them into one, the Sacramento Northern, which became the longest electric interurban in the country. In 1939, the Sacramento Northern, Key System, and the Southern Pacific's Interurban Electric Railway were all extended across the Bay Bridge to the Transbay Terminal in San Francisco. In 1941, the Southern Pacific closed the Interurban Electric Railway and the Sacramento Northern was cut back to Temescal in Oakland. Also in 1941, the Key System was extended south towards San Leandro. In 1950, however, it was cut back to 12th and Oak. In 1957, the Sacramento Northern ceased operations through the Oakland Hills and was cut back to Lafayette. In 1958, the Key System was closed by National City Lines, a shell corporation for General Motors, Firestone Tire, Phillips Petroleum, and Standard Oil of California, in order to monopolize the sale of buses. The same fate would befall multiple transit companies across the country, most famously in Los Angeles. Despite protests from Oakland, Berkeley, and San Leandro, the rails will be removed from the Bay Bridge soon after. As for the Sacramento Northern, in 1958, services were cut back to Walnut Creek. In 1964, a section between Walnut Creek and Clyde was closed to make way for BART construction. In 1965, all electrification was removed and it would operate as diesel only. The rest of the line would close in stages from there. Though part of the right-of-way is now used for the Western Railway Museum, and parts are now used for BART and Sacramento Light Rail.